What's good, everybody? It's Miles. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I've got a really interesting topic that I want to talk about. It's a topic that I feel like I'd struggled with throughout school, high school. Not much, not really anymore, for obvious reasons. But we'll get to that later in the video. Today, we're gonna be talking about Christian men and the boundaries on friendships with women. Okay, so the idea behind this topic was just looking back on my life and seeing what I could go ahead and pick apart things that I feel like early on I was really struggling with. Back when I was in, I'd say, probably like middle school, it's really easy for us to look at other people and compare ourselves to other people. I would always compare myself to, other guys, all these guys who, have a girlfriend or, with, all these girls or whatever, being the athlete of the school, all the girls want to hang with them, right? And I feel like me personally, I quickly realized, like, since I was always raised to be a genuine, honest, and respectable person, once I was starting to compare myself to other people, I started to realize, like, through trial and error, wait a minute, like, I'm good at being friends with girls, but only because I was always being respectful and genuine. I quickly learned a lot of women do not get that. A lot of women do not get that in their life, which is why they always try to keep me around. I would say from maybe like eighth or ninth grade, there became this trend with me that I was always friends. It was always a trio. I've always been friends with two different girls. I don't know why that always was the case. If I remember correctly, throughout high school, I think it was like 2 years. So for the first 2 years of high school, it was definitely two girls I was really close friends with. Never really hung out with them outside of school. I did very rarely, but at school, I was with them most of the time. I'd say junior and senior year. Junior year was a different two girls who I was really cool with. One of them I'm still cool with. We don't really talk really anymore. The other one, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Lord have, I don't know what happened. She hated me, but then she didn't, and now, like, I don't know, but I don't care. So that sounded mean, but it is what it is. And in senior year, I think I had tried to get out of that habit. I would say I definitely tried to get out of that habit, but mostly because there's two girls that I was hanging out with senior year, but they ended up hating each other. So I was always spending time with one or the other. But college comes around after I graduated high school, and I think second near this end of my second year of college, for the first half of it, I was friends with two girls in my math class because nobody else in my math class really spoke besides these two girls that I sat beside, and they were they were really cool with me, really nice. Definitely weren't my type of people. I wasn't really their type of person, really hang around with. Definitely lived life in two different ways, but yeah. So I understand what it's like as a guy being friends with women. I used to love flirting with girls just to flirt with them and just say, like, oh, it's just practice, like, whatever. Like, I love being respectful to girls because I used to show off because all the athletic guys, the sports, they used to see me, they were cool with me, and they all recognized, like, yo, I'm great with talking to women. That's what I thought that was supposed to be the thing for a man. I was supposed to be good with talking with women, and I was. And this kind of goes back to, like, over time, I was friends with girls that did not have the best backgrounds. They were known for getting, their body counts were pretty high, or they're partying, they're drinking, they're vaping, they're doing all types of worldly stuff, right? Which also put me in the wrong mindset of what a woman wants. So let's talk about that. The main big problem about that is you're going to encounter lots of women, and they're going to give you the wrong idea of what a woman wants. I used to think that being friends with women would help me find the person I'm supposed to be with. They would give me advice for what a woman wants. Well, how is a worldly woman supposed to tell you what a Christian woman wants? Think about that. I was looking for somebody that's genuine, open, and honest, who doesn't judge, who's sweet, who's caring, who doesn't go out and party and put herself out there and is very modest, right? But that's not who I was hanging out with. That's the opposite, the complete opposite of what I was hanging out with. And they're the ones giving me advice. They're the ones saying, oh, well, you got to get out more. You got to party more. Like, you got to make sure you're the biggest guy in the room. You got to make sure you got the deepest voice. You got to make sure you have the best hair. you got to have this amount of bodies by this amount of time. You can't go to college, as a virgin. Like, there's a lot of things that people, that women specifically told me that wasn't really the right thing that I should have been going after. And deep down inside, I knew it wasn't me. And it stressed me out because I couldn't bring myself to do those things. And when I did, I immediately regretted it and knew, like, this is not the life I want to live. This isn't who I am. And I have a couple Bible verses here that I had looked into for a long time that I've been wanting to put in the video. Let's see here. All right. Proverbs 31, verse 3. It says, "Do not waste your strength on women, on those who ruin kings." That one, I read that one, I was like, dang, I wish I had that earlier in my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm a very genuine, respectful young man. There was a lot of women that was like hanging with men that weren't that. And the reason they kept me around is because I was that source of, there was somebody who I was close with for like 2 years straight. And, it feels like every 3 or 4 months she slept with somebody new, not even dating them really. And again, we were really close, but from being around her and getting advice from her, it ruined how I saw women. Another girl who I was friends with, hearing all this stuff that she was saying why she wasn't attracted to this guy. I'm just like, that's what women are searching for. You're searching for the guy that's the most attractive, like, who lifts the most, who's the heaviest, the strongest guy, has experience, like, you understand what I'm talking about. It ruined my mindset and it kills your confidence. As a man, you have to be confident. You have to be. There's no negotiable there. And being around a bunch of women who were still very worldly and figuring them, quote unquote, you guys have heard this before, figuring themselves out, testing the waters, being around them, that affected me in a negative way. All right, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 4. "Obscene stories, foolish talk, and coarse jokes, these are not for you. Instead, let there be thankfulness to God." And in verse 7, "Don't participate in the things these people do." Really important that the way the world works. And I will reference these two verses a lot throughout the videos that go on this channel. The world is the way it is for a reason. We can choose to follow in the way of the world, or we can do what we know and feel is right. Now, some of the girls I was friends with, they tried to get me to vape. They tried to get me to party with them. They tried to get me to drink. I think maybe only one time has somebody been successful in actually getting me like to smoke with them. And it wasn't even all of that. I never would do it again because it was just like, what did y'all gain from this? I didn't get it. But nobody's ever gotten me drunk. Nobody's ever really got me out to like super crazy party or anything. And had I done it, it would have threw my life off track. 100% would have. If you know you're struggling, being around people, not just women, just people in general, who drink too much, who party too much, doing all types of stuff that's harming the body, probably best that you should start taking a step back from that. And then evaluate whether they're actually your friends or not. I had, and this is kind of off topic, but kind of on topic. There was somebody who I knew who was supposedly really into this guy. And she's like saying, oh, well, he wants to do this and that with me. And I'm reading their text messages. Everything he was saying had stuff to do with her body and like sex, basically. But I told her, ask him if sex was out of the equation, you just for some reason couldn't do it, what would you do? And the answer this man gave blew my mind. He genuinely didn't know. He said, we'll do whatever you're into. Whatever you're into. He didn't even know. They had been talking for like over a year. And he did not know a single hobby that this girl had. Supposedly dated, they liked each other. And he did not know a single hobby that she had, that she was into. And to me, obviously, I've been friends with this girl for who knows how long. And I was super upset. Because I'm like, you've been wasting your time with this guy and trying to defend him in front of me. And he can't even name a simple hobby that you like doing. I've known you for a third of the time he's known you. And I could tell you, you like watching Netflix. I could tell you exactly what show you're watching now, your favorite show, your favorite movie, your favorite song artist, your favorite music that you like to listen to, your favorite foods that you like making. I know you like listening to music. Stuff that it's really important that as a man, you take initiative and understand, like, you got to set the standard. There's a standard of a woman you got to have that you want, and you don't settle for less. So don't be like the world where everybody says like, oh, well, this person's attractive. Their personality may not be all that, but I'll date them. This person has a good personality, but I'm not attracted to them. And I don't get why people. I'm not gonna hide the fact It is really important that you're attracted to the person that you're into. Looks aren't everything, but you should be attracted to the person. Like, why? How could you like be attracted to a personality and then look at them and be like, yeah, my person's kind of eh. Like, no, that's actually terrible. I don't understand that mindset. It just boggles my mind. Again, don't don't follow in the path that everybody else is making. What society, is kind of normalized. Whatever everything that gets normalized is not always a good thing. The next Bible verse, we're gonna go to the book of James, chapter 4. I'm definitely hurting people's feelings today. Chapter 4, verse 17. Remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it. There definitely came a point where I was talking to this one person when I was, my first, it was beginning of my second year of college. And I knew this person wasn't for me. And I still went with it. I knew this person would have led me astray from God. 100%. 100% would have led me astray. But I still did it. Be confident and be a leader. Stand up for yourself. It is so very important. A lot of times now, I know in recent years, you've probably heard this, that women are now trying to take charge. They're now the ones who are leading. They're the ones where it's like all about being an independent woman, providing for yourself. You don't need a man type mindset. You see that in music a lot. You see that with a lot of artists promoting that idea. I just think it is so essential that as men, we remember our identity and our calling. We are meant to be leaders of a household. We are meant to lead. We're supposed to be strong, not just physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We're supposed to be strong. We are supposed to be leaders. As simple as that. It is very easy for us young men. We're so into a girl or girls, and we don't want to lose the attention or the ego that we build from being friends with a bunch of girls. So easy to get caught up in all that. We don't want to lose it. When in reality, it's really nothing. It's meaningless. It's actually meaningless. There's so much I can hit on. One thing I really want to talk about in this video, the idea when girls get upset when their guy best friend gets in a relationship. This is another issue why you should avoid girl best friends. Girls' best friends will not be there for you when they get a boyfriend. They will kick you to the curb immediately. I have been there and done that every time over. I hate it when a girl says, oh, it's okay, he'll like you, you're my friend. And then they don't. And we all know it. Or they'll say that, and then they'll go and lie to their boyfriend and tell him that you're gay. They do it all the time. Or when you get in a relationship, and your girl best friend's like, oh, well, what about me? Are we not going to go to the gym together? Are we not going to hang out anymore? Are we not going to go to the movies together anymore? We can't do any of that. Or when they ask you about that, they're like, hey, can we go when we going to the movies again? Or, whatever. And you're like, oh, I can't. I got a girlfriend. And they get upset about it. As a young man, you do not need girl best friends. You can have a friend group, and there can be girls in there, and you can be close with them. I have a friend group, and there are 2 girls in that group that I'm really close with. Do we talk every day? No. Do we talk every week? No. Do we talk every month? Not even that, really. Probably should talk at least once a month, but it's whatever. That's what Snapchat's for. You got private stories. That's your way of talking. You don't need to really have, direct communication with other women if you're a man. But that's different. Again, having these girl best friends, talking to many girls you can and trying to flirt with them just because you lead them on, it's not okay. It's not a real man move. I think it's so important that we remember to stay in the Word, because the Word is our guiding rule book. It tells you how to avoid all this trouble. Do you know how annoying it is for you to get in a relationship and then one of your friends as a girl not support it? She's upset and she's jealous. How many times I've had to deal with that? If I were to pull up every girl I've been girl best friends with, I can tell you 90% of them have been upset with me because I was focused on another girl that I was trying to date. As a man, you got to stand up for yourself. That has been lost over the past couple of years, this identity of women empowerment. It is okay for women to take up more responsibilities, to want to make themselves better, a sense of accomplishment. But this idea that, as a man, you're just going to sit in the back end and let her drag you around emotionally, which will lead to her dragging you around physically. No way. That's not how it works. Not in God's eyes. Maybe in the world's eyes, but not in God's. All right. This video is getting really long. I swear it was 4 minutes in, and then I blinked, and now it's like almost 20 minutes. So we're going to skip to this last part. This last Bible verse I'm going to leave you guys with, Galatians 6, verse 9. So let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Basically, what I'm using this Bible verse for, again, another verse that I can apply to multiple different things. This idea that if you just follow the word, follow what God's telling you to do, follow your parents, what they're telling you to do. As a man, you're a leader. You guide. You're the strong one. She follows you. Do not follow her. It is your job to pursue a woman, but once you've gotten to the point where you've pursued her, you've caught up, you're there, you got her, now you're leading and she's following. She's not pursuing you, she's following. There's a difference. Our job is to pursue and then lead. And that has been lost over the past who knows how many years. Right now, I don't really have any girl best friends at all. There's one girl that I can tell you right now that I talk to every day, every week, every month, yada, 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 who I'm going to talk to every day, every week, every month, every second, every minute, whatever. You know, that's my amazing, beautiful girlfriend. Shout out to Tiffany. Again, if you haven't seen her channel, I'm going to link it in the video. Probably a screenshot somewhere around here. But yeah, that's all. If you're already in a relationship, you don't need any other women besides your mom or your grandmother. Those are the only women you put ahead. Or even your sister, if you have a sister, that too. But those are the only exceptions. Simple as that. If you are dealing, or if you're one of those guys and you got these girl best friends, you're speaking to them every day, you're snapping them every day, sharing Instagram posts, sharing TikTok posts every day, you're FaceTiming, y'all going to the movies every week, going to dinner, to lunch every day, to the gym. Be very careful. Be very careful. Be very transparent and straightforward about your intentions, because then theirs is going to start to show. It will. But other than that, that's all I got for today. All right, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Christian men and boundaries on friendships with women. All right. Love your neighbor as thyself. Simple as that. I'm just leave y'all with this message. Y'all read these Bible verses, check them out for yourselves. Again, if I find anything else, I might make another video on this. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video with a friend. And remember, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Life is about perspective. Change your perspective if you ain't seeing the message. Change your perspective. All right, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. God bless.